ever in WWE history to win 4 titles in 1 year.
All right, guys, we soon going to discuss Stephanie Vaquer, her great run in WWE in 2025, and everything that she has accomplished in her miraculous first year in the company. Let's tune in more to the Pink Square Circle and let's talk about it. Hey guys, we're back at the Pink Square Circle. We will talk about Stephanie Vaquer, best rookie year ever in WWE, the year of the La Primavera. However you say it, you guys know what I mean. Now, we're going over Stephanie's accomplishments here of what she discussed before, that she won 4 titles in 1 year. But let's take time. We got to look over her accomplishments of what she's done. Now, aside from her accomplishments before WWE, we are looking to see what happens. She's the first woman to hold both the NXT Women's Championship and the NXT Women's North American Championship simultaneously. She first won the North American Championship, her first ever championship, the NXT Women's title. Then she won the Women's World Champion that she currently holds, and the new Crown Jewel Champion, having her make to win 4 championships in 1 year since she debuted. Now, you know, she just came to the main roster earlier this year, shortly after her run in NXT ended. And I want to say this spring going into summer. But Stephanie Vaquer, she definitely made an impact. She's over with the crowd. She definitely has been doing her thing. She's been putting on good matches. We see her in the ring with Io Sky. We seen her in the ring with Tiffany Stratton recently. And then we just saw her win the Battle Royal Evolution. She also accomplished that as well. So she's been doing great things for her career. Great things. I will say Stephanie Vaquer's on a great run. She's had one of the best 2025 years ever. And if you guys follow NXT, we should have saw before, she was destined to do her thing when she won both of those championships, because like I said before, she made history. When she did that, the crowd was behind her, everything. We knew that once she got to the main roster, she's going to do big things. And since she got to the main roster, even before she won the Women's World Championship, we saw Stephanie Vaquer. We saw her in the Women's Money in the Bank ladder match. We saw her do a thing there. We seen her on plenty of episodes of Raw where she was in very good matches with good opponents. We also seen her even recently make her return at NXT with the NXT Homecoming episode. So Stephanie's been everywhere. She's been putting in the work. I know recently she's been working so much. She temporarily was a little bit sick, but she pulled it together and still kept working. But Stephanie has been doing great. Now, the only thing is with the Stephanie, her great year in 2025, there's also another thing mentioned. Now, last year, it was mentioned that for Pro Wrestling Illustrated, she was ranked number 5 out of top 250 female singles wrestlers in 2024 PWI Women's 250. So Stephanie has been looked at for quite some time now. Now, I know before she came to WWE, she was the New Japan Pro Wrestling Strong Women's Champion. She lost that championship to Mercedes Moné, and she was in CMLL wrestling promotion. But Stephanie, she is the La Primera. She beat Tiffany Stratton, the top champion, who's been champion all year with the WWE Women's Championship on SmackDown. So the company is really behind Stephanie Vaquer. Now, the question is, after 2025 is over, what's next for Stephanie Vaquer? How does her Royal Rumble start? Who is she going to face for WrestleMania? How long she's going to hold the Women's World Championship? Only time will tell for Stephanie Vaquer. But I will say she has been doing a great job. She's very passionate about the business. We've seen the interviews, I talked about her on the channel before. She's always wanted to be a wrestler. She did it so much that she was willing to sleep in the kitchen of one of her old jobs. She was willing to sacrifice everything just so she become a pro wrestler. If you guys don't know, also Stephanie Vaquer also had a previous trial with WWE back in 2018. Unfortunately for her at the time, she was not selected, but she still did not give up. She kept going, kept grinding, and worked her way back into getting into WWE. And look where we are now, fast forward 2025. So it's been a great run for Stephanie. I know when we heard about Stephanie, when she came to NXT, we heard about Giulia first. But once we talk about Stephanie, that's who they really was pushing behind. Now, Stephanie, she puts on good matches. But like I said before, I still have my reservations about the character-wise. I still believe she'd be more effective as a heel. I'm pretty sure at some point in given time, WWE is going to make the transition from making Stephanie Vaquer from a babyface to a heel. Only time will tell when that's going to happen. Only time will tell. But Stephanie, one thing I do like about her, she eats, sleeps, and breathes the wrestling business. We hear some of these women wrestlers who got released by WWE, whose contract was not renewed, or decided not to renew their contract. We hear how much they disrespect the wrestling business, saying, "Oh, wrestling's this, wrestling's that. I don't care. They don't pay enough. They don't do this. We don't do that." You're not gonna hear that from someone like Stephanie Vaquer. She's very, very, very fortunate for the spot she's in. She's earned her spot. And she's never going to disrespect the wrestling business any way, shape, or form. No, hypothetically, worst case scenario, if something happens, she wasn't with WWE anymore, I don't think she would ever badmouth the business like that. Even if she did feel some type of way, she will always have a very high respect for pro wrestling. Because we hear that too much these days from the former NIL athletes or a former MMA athlete or whatever sport they was in or whatever the case may be. But Stephanie is a wrestler. She has a strong style. She wrestled independent for many, many years before coming to WWE. So she know the sacrifice and what it takes to get to WWE. Now, the only thing about Stephanie, she had a great 2025. It's going to be very hard to match the 2026. What can Stephanie Vaquer do next in 2026 that she already has not done in 2025? I mean, she's won the Women's World title. She's won the Evolution Battle Royal. She won the Crown Jewel title. I know she's never won the Women's World Rumble or the Women's Money in the Bank ladder match. I know she's not faced off against people like Becky Lynch, Charlotte Flair, Alexa Bliss, Bayley, just to name a few when it comes to big names on big stages. I know she's not there yet. She's just getting started. But besides the stuff I mentioned, that's the only other things that she can do. I'm not saying Stephanie, her window is, she's reached her ceiling already. She hasn't. But I will say it's going to be very challenging of next year what she's going to do because she's done so much in a short period of time already. We're looking at Stephanie accomplishing all this stuff in less than a year because she got on NXT. She started winning championships back in February of this year. And now we hear October and she already won 4 championships in 1 calendar year. So it's good. But I will say they got to keep the booking up, keep her having strong opponents. I will say storyline is going to be a big factor, of course, just like any other character in WWE. If they keep that going, that'd be great. But I think the moneymaker match that everybody's looking for when it comes to Stephanie Vaquer, no disrespect to the Alexa, Charlotte, Becky, or Bayley, anybody else, the big money match that we're looking for with Stephanie Vaquer is going to be, ultimately, it's going to become Stephanie Vaquer versus Rhea Ripley. That's a WrestleMania match. That could happen within the next year, if not WrestleMania 42, WrestleMania 43. I do see that happening with Stephanie Vaquer. That will be the case with her because she definitely she can go toe-to-toe with a lot of women in the ring. And she's on Raw, the premier show brand. So it's a lot of talent on the roster she could face. Also, Liv Morgan, she could have a good match with. We can't leave Liv Morgan out. She hasn't faced Asuka yet. So there's a lot of names of people she could face. But she does have a lot of accolades under her name already. And that definitely puts her in the upper tier when it comes to the women's division. I'm not saying she's higher than any other woman in the division, but she is up there and she has a lot of leg to stand on, considering she did all this in her rookie year. I'm not saying that the other women have not done anything, but she's done quite a bit already, and more is yet to come when it comes to Stephanie Vaquer and what she could do in WWE. Main event WrestleMania, she also has not done or some anything, but only time will tell. We gotta see with Stephanie Vaquer how WWE's gonna book her and what's next up for her in 2026, because 2025 has been a great year. But that's all I have for Stephanie Vaquer, best rookie year ever in WWE. You guys let me know what you think. Check out the content below, guys, and of course, you already know I will see you guys later.